هيا يا رفيق الدرب هيا نسلك النهج السويا في سبيل الله نمضي نقتفي فيه النبيا نبعث الحب أريجا فائح العطر شذيا نملأ الآفاق نورا وبهاء سرمديا يا رفيق الدرب هيا نسلك النهج السويا في سبيل الله نمضي نقتفي فيه النبيا نبعث الحب أريجا فائح العطر شذيا نملأ الآفاق نورا وبهاء سرمديا وإخاء صادقا عذبا نقيا أريحيا يا رفيق الدرب هيا خذ يميني يا أخيا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. I'm your host again. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This is a reverse story about my wife. That's why your host don't want to do it. Alhamdulillah. But you know, we just wanna ask you a simple question, inshallah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. You're Revert. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I'm glad to be your husband, by the way. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Tell us about your childhood.
My childhood have a lot of stories. I grew up actually as an adopted child, my brother and I, to a lady who was actually a single mom, and she only had one daughter. She was about 17 years of age when me and my brother got introduced to her. And it just been the three of us and my mom since then.
Oh, alhamdulillah. What was your previous belief?
We were Christians. We went to church heavily Monday through Sunday. I was involved. My mom actually, she used to not really be like a Christian like that, but she did grow up in a hard neighborhood. She used to actually be on drugs, and she's delivered from that now, but she found her deliverance through Christ. And so she actually got me, my brother, and my sister involved to keep her in line as well. So I was involved. It was like on the choir, on the little ministry board. We was in Sunday school all the time, even on Wednesdays.
Wow. Alhamdulillah. So what was your first encounter with Islam? How did you hear about Islam?
Actually, it was when I first moved to Georgia. I think I was in 8th grade. I knew this girl named Katora, but then we went to high school together. I guess we got closer because we had classes together. And she actually wore a skirt all the time. She wore long sleeves all the time. She had dreads, and she had like 8 siblings. And I asked her exactly why you never wear pants and so forth and so forth. And she basically told me that she was a Muslim, and I didn't really understand the difference between Muslim and Christianity because they also believed in Jesus. So I just thought thought Jesus was like Muhammad, but I didn't really ask any questions. She was really a cool girl. I met her parents, and that's pretty much
how did you come to Islam? What happened? How did you came into Islam?
That's a nice little story too. Like last year, I believe it was around November, I sold my car to you.
Alhamdulillah.
And I still was a Christian then, and you was a Muslim. We would have debates on pretty much what was the difference between Christianity and Islam. And I really didn't understand at first, but then I started doing my own research pretty much. Doing my own research, I went back to the Christian based church, and I was asking them questions, and their questions didn't line up with the research that I had and the knowledge that I had received on my own. So that pretty much gave me a push to be more confident and come back to Islam.
So what about Islam? What did you accept Islam? What was it that changed all that? What did you really like in Islam?
To be honest, it was really an eye-opener. I really didn't realize who I was worshiping when I was Christian. I did my own research, and I realized that we do have one creator, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah, Allah, I got tongue-tied. And when I noticed that, I really went back and I started asking my mom questions. She pretty much told me that we needed Jesus to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that just didn't sound right to me because when I did read the Quran, it did say worship him and him alone. And so I didn't need a mediator. And that really pretty much was the reason why I was confident. I became a Muslimah, alhamdulillah, January 15th, and I never went back ever since.
A lot of them. And what was the challenges, the obstacles you faced towards that, rather your parents and everybody, everything actually in general?
It was really my family. They were not as supportive as I thought they would be, even with the evidence that I did bring to them, pretty much showing them who I decided to worship. And it really was like they had a veil over their eyes. Not to say they pushed me away or they disowned me, but they really didn't want to be around me. That was my biggest obstacle. I really didn't have any type of problems with covering myself, or I actually felt more confident with covering my hair and covering, you know, the triangle between the two stands I stand on. So I really did. I became confident with covering myself and becoming Muslimah, and actually trying to encourage my friends to do their own research, you know, just get to know more about Islam, so they can come back to it.
So what type of, you know, conversation you had with your friends? Like, what type of differences you had with your friends after you accepted Islam?
The only differences were the way I guess I covered myself. They didn't understand. They assumed that I was hot all the time. But I did. I actually convinced my friends that I can be hot, but it's not as hot as hellfire. So,
it's not as hot as hellfire. True that.
So I'd rather be covered up. My friends were still, you know, stuck in the world, this world. They want me to hang out with them more, but I just can't be involved with their lifestyle. They still be my friends in my heart, but to be involved with them, I just rather not. So I mean, I do keep in touch with them every once in a while, just to say hello, let them know I'm still alive. But other than that, that's it. I know a lot of my friends really miss my presence, but when I do present myself in front of them, I do get more respect from them. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
So what kind of advice can you give to anybody that can in that type of situation? You know, everybody, of course, but also like a woman around your age in America and so forth. What kind of advice can you give to those?
The honest advice I would give is don't be afraid to find out for yourself. I know your parents or your cousins, you're comfortable in the box of knowing what you know, but it's okay to step out that box. We're getting older and times is getting hard, and the only person to actually go to is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Allah.
So you know how to say it, but
I get
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I do. But yeah, don't be afraid. I know sometimes you look at your parents and your family for support, but sometimes that's exactly how it is. They might actually fall off the cliff and leave you standing, but like Allah will never leave you. He will always guide you. So just ask for guidance. Ask friends. If they don't want to go to the library, find someone out here. Ask them to know what the Quran is. Learn about it. I mean, don't be afraid, because it'll be the best decision you ever make.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
All right, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.